Hey everyone, what's going on? In this video, I'm going to answer a question. The question is, what got me into role-playing games? If you're a friend of mine or you've been watching my channel for a while, you should know that I'm a big fan of role-playing games, especially CRPGs. And in this video, I'm going to tell you how I got that way. I did talk about this a little bit, but I never gave you the full story, so that's why I'm doing this video. I'm going to try my best to not be too specific about any of the games that I mentioned because I could be here for hours and it's not a review. I'm just talking about what video games made me a fan of RPGs. Let's get started. Alright, let's go back to 2004. In 2004, I got my first computer. And for the first couple of months, I really didn't do anything with it. We had the internet and that was a new experience for me. It was exciting, but I really didn't do much. I remember going on Newgrounds a lot. For those that don't know, Newgrounds is a website that has Flash games and Flash movies. It really was cool. I was on Newgrounds a lot when I was younger, and I remember playing this one game called Samurai Asshole. That was pretty funny, but I didn't really play any video games on that computer until I went to Walmart and I found one of my favorite games of all time. So, I'm at Walmart, I'm with my mom, I have some money in my pocket because I was 12 years old and I did some side jobs here and there, so I had some money in my pocket. So, I'm going through the game section, I'm looking around, and I see it. I see the Elderscrolls 3 Morrowind. It was a Game of the Year edition. It was in this big box, and all I remember is being amazed by the cover art. It looked so cool, and I checked the back of the box, and I just wanted this game. That's all I remember. I didn't even know what the Elderscrolls was. I didn't know anything about the game. I just wanted it, and I knew that it was for the computer, and I had a computer, so I bought it, and I was on my way home to check out the game. So I get home, and I install the game, and right from the beginning of the game, I was hooked. I didn't know anything about role-playing games. I didn't know what to do. I didn't even read the beginner's guide or anything like that. I didn't read the book that came with the game. I just picked a random character. I think I picked an Argonian and just went into the world, and all I remember was being overwhelmed at how big the game was. I didn't know what to do, and I kept on dying because I didn't know how to attack, and then I learned how to attack, but I was just really bad at the game when I first played it. I didn't read anything on the internet. I was just learning to play the game, and I really enjoyed every second of it. I remember I spent 5 hours on the game when I first played it. And then for the next couple of months, I was obsessed with Morrowind. I would get home from school, I would get home from hanging out with my friends and just play Morrowind. I would stay up, sneak into the computer room, and just play this fucking game. I was surprised. I didn't even know games could be this big. I loved every second of it. It was an amazing experience, and I even went to the school one time. I went into my library, and I told the person there that I had to print something out for my history project, but I lied. I wasn't doing that. What I did was I went onto this website because I didn't have a printer at my house, and I really wanted to print out this guide for a pure mage because I figured out that I wanted to play a pure mage in Morrowind, but I didn't want to constantly read the website, so I wanted to print the guide out. So I lied to the person at the library, and I just printed out a pure mage guide for Morrowind, and I was 12 years old, and it was the first time that I got engrossed into a role-playing game. I explored the world. I read the books that were inside the game to learn the lore. And 12 years later, I'm still playing Morrowind. I'm not bored of the game. I've played the game about 20 times in the past 12 years, probably even more than that. I played every character I can, pure mage, warrior, assassin, archer, you name it. I know the game like the back of my hand, and I love Morrowind, and that was the first time that I really got engrossed into an RPG, but it gets even better. So, a couple of months after I first got Morrowind, I'm still playing the game, and I decided to go to Walmart again. Walmart really helped me out when it came to role-playing games back in the day. So, I'm in Walmart, and I see another game. This game is called Star Wars: Knights of the Old Republic, and like I said before, I didn't even know it was a role-playing game. I just liked the cover, so I bought it, I went home and I installed it, played the game for a couple of hours, and I was hooked. So, right after I got Morrowind, I got Knights of the Old Republic, and it was another game that I really liked. It was another role-playing game that I enjoyed. So, what happened after that? You probably think that I got more games on the PC or I played more role-playing games. Well, not really. So, right after I got Knights of the Old Republic, and before I move on, I just want to say, I did enjoy Knights of the Old Republic. I reviewed it, so you can check it out. I love being a bad guy and using Force Lightning and things like that. But anyways, after I was done beating Knights of the Old Republic, I stopped playing games on the PC. So, over the next 9 years, 2004 to 2013, I had the original Xbox, my brother had the PS2, I bought the PS3, and I bought the Xbox One. So, over those next 9 years, I played on consoles. And I did play a couple of RPGs, Jade Empire, Fable, Fallout New Vegas, Oblivion, Skyrim, and some JRPGs, but at that time, I wasn't a fan of role-playing games. I didn't become a fan of role-playing games, especially CRPGs, until 2013. So let's fast forward to 2013. In 2013, I got a new computer, so I got back into PC gaming. I got Steam and GOG, started downloading games like Morrowind, Knights of the Old Republic, Max Payne, Fallout New Vegas, games that I've already beaten, but they're classics, so I had to play them again on the PC, especially with mods. And that was fine, but I didn't get back into PC gaming just to play games that I've already beaten before. I wanted to try newer games. So I went into Google and I typed in something like best computer role-playing games or top computer role-playing games because I wanted to play a role-playing game, but I was on a computer, so I typed in computer role-playing games, something like that, and 2 websites popped up, RPG Codex and RPGwatch.com. So I went on these 2 websites and I was looking through the forums, seeing what role-playing games that they like. And there are a lot more CRPGs out there than I thought. So I went through the topics looking at what people liked, but there were so many games mentioned that I had to pick 5 random games because I couldn't list them all and play every single one and beat it and then make my opinion on if I like CRPGs or not, because CRPGs are long games and it would have took me years to beat like 30 CRPGs. So I picked 5 random games, and those games were Gothic 1, Might and Magic 7, Wizardry 8, Baldur's Gate, and of course, Fallout 1 and 2. So that's technically 6, but I bunched them both together since it was Fallout 1 and 2. So I picked those games, and I played each of them. And you can tell because Baldur's Gate, Gothic, those were some of the first reviews on my channel. And I played each of these games. And even though it took a while, this wasn't a short process. It took months and months and months for me to even put a dent in some of these games because I was so busy at the time. But I remember playing Baldur's Gate. That was the first game I played. And I loved it. I don't know anything about Dungeons & Dragons. I didn't know the rule set. I didn't know how combat worked. And I know that Baldur's Gate used the Dungeons & Dragons rule set, I believe. And I didn't know anything about that. It was just trial and error. I loved making my character and everything like that. And even though I didn't know what the fuck I was doing, I just enjoyed the dialogue. And I'm not going to go too deep about the games. I'm not going to be too specific because I've already reviewed some of these games and it's not a review. It's just me talking about what got me into role-playing games. So after that, I moved on from Baldur's Gate to Gothic. And let me tell you something. Gothic is an underrated game. It's a huge open world. And yes, the controls are hard to get used to. They really are. Especially for someone like me that wasn't used to playing on keyboard and mouse. It can be a pain in the ass. But once you get past the controls, it's a big open world. And once you get a hold of magic, the game opens up in a way that I wasn't expecting. Gothic is a fantastic game. Wizardry 8, I don't know what to say about Wizardry 8. I've played it like 3 times in the past couple years. I've restarted twice, and I still did not beat Wizardry 8. But that doesn't mean that I don't love it. It's a fantastic game. And even though I'm not a big fan of games where you make your parties, I like playing a single character. But Wizardry 8, it was Surtek's last game, and they went out on top. It's a fantastic game. Now, about Might and Magic 7. I know that it's kind of weird starting off with the 7th game in a series instead of going from the beginning, but people were praising that game, so I've played it, and I enjoy it. It's a good game. Even though I'm a bigger fan of Might and Magic 6 than 7, that's just my personal opinion, Might and Magic 7 introduced me to the series, so I'll always remember Might and Magic 7 because it introduced me to the series. So, the next two games, Fallout 1 and 2. Do I need to say anything else? If you're a friend of mine or you've watched any of my Fallout videos, you should know that Fallout 1 and 2 are some of the greatest games ever. You know that's my opinion. I love Fallout 1 and 2. What else can I say? I've talked about Fallout 1 and 2 so many times on this channel, and I'm still going to talk about them in the future, but fantastic games. Some of the best video games of all time. Definitely some of the best CRPGs of all time. Fantastic games, and if I sound like a fanboy, oh well, I just love Fallout 1 and 2. You know what? I'm gonna replay Fallout 2 after I'm done beating Gothic 2. That sounds like a plan. Anyways, thank you for watching this video. I know I'm not the most articulate person, and sometimes I rush my videos, but I appreciate everyone that watches this video. I hope you enjoyed the story. That is how I got into role-playing games. I'm not saying CRPGs are better than JRPGs or action RPGs or anything like that. There's a lot of different role-playing games. This is just my perspective, and this is how I became a fan of role-playing games, and it was all thanks to CRPGs. So, I hope you enjoyed the video. Just to let everyone know, my next review will be Gothic 2. So be on the lookout for that. You know where to find me on Twitter, leave a comment, message me if you want. Have a great day.